Hey everyone. Today I have this little book. If you're familiar with RiffTrax, you might remember the Williams Doll short film. It was a cheesy little short about this boy who wanted a doll, and his father doesn't understand why would a boy want a doll. And then his grandfather comes in and he's like, "Oh, well, kids have a lot of love to give," and he gives the kid a doll, and the kid is well adjusted and perfectly normal, and the father is like, maybe I should embrace my sensitive side, and grows flowers. Yeah, it's a cheesy little short. Its heart's in the right place, but yeah, it's just very sappy and silly. And one of the things that was really cool about it was the original short was based on a book. This book, which I happened to find at the thrift store. So, yeah, I want to go over this book with you. So yeah, Williams Doll by Charlotte Zolotow. All right, let's see. And this was apparently like from a school or something. Private property of Horton. All right. And we see the illustration there. Yeah, kid looking at the girl with the doll. William wanted a doll. He wanted to hug it and cradle it in his arms. Although the way it's drawn, it kind of looks like he's yeah, having a little mini heart attack or something. Let's see. And give it a bottle and take it to the park and push it on the swing. And there we see him imagining looks like the behind the scenes of like a movie where someone has to hold something CGI and they're like just holding nothing. So there's some kids coming in, and yeah, they're laughing at William, who's doing whatever he's doing, and bring it back home and undress it and put it to bed. Yeah, I'm just gonna make comments throughout this thing. um, what are they doing? What are those, ping pong paddles or something? But, oh, and it's still going on. And pull down the shades and kiss it goodnight and watches. And all the ands. This book is a giant run-on sentence. And then, okay. Oh, and then we. Oh, no period. So it's still, the sentence is still going on. And then William wanted to wake it up in the morning when the sun came in. And there's those kids there waiting for him to do whatever. And then this crazy picture, and start all over again, just as... There's the period, finally, at 10 How long was this sentence? Oh, okay, so there. William wanted a doll, period. He wanted to hug it and cradle it in his arms, and then, blah, 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 and period. So yeah, 10 pages of this one run-on sentence. Come on. Focus. Focus. Stupid. Yeah. Okay, there. "A doll," said his brother. "Don't be a creep. Sissy, sissy, sissy," said the boy next door. Well, the boy next door's a jerk. Holy crap, wall of words. Okay. "How would you like a basketball?" his father said, but William wanted a doll. It would have blue eyes, and curly eyelashes, and a long white dress, and a bonnet, and when the eyes closed, they would make a little click, like the doll that belonged to Nancy next door. "Creepy," said his brother. "Sissy, sissy," chanted the boy next door, who had no imagination and couldn't come up with a better taunt. What is he... It's like Prince Adam from an old He-Man picture. And then here's him playing basketball, and there's... Oh, yeah. And his father brought home a smooth, round basketball, and climbed up a ladder and attached a net to the garage, and showed William how to jump as he threw the ball, so that it went through the net and bounced down into his arms again. He practiced a lot. No period. Oh, and got good at it, but it had nothing to do with the doll. William still wanted one. Yeah, there's weird sentence breaks in this book. Oh, got a whole big image here. let's see. His father brought him an electric train. They set it up on the floor and made an 8 out of the tracks. Sure, 8. And brought in twigs from outside and set them in clay so they looked like trees. That was very necessary to tell us that they did that. Also, the electric train shows up in the short, I think. Or was it electric cars? I don't remember. The tiny train threaded around and around the tracks with a clacking sound. William made cardboard stations and tunnels and bridges and played with the train a lot. Look at that face. That's a face that says, I'm having fun. But he didn't stop wanting a doll to hug and cradle and take to the park. One day, his grandmother came to visit, and anyway, there's him hugging the train. Anyway, there's him with his grandmother. Yeah, that's an interesting change from the book to the short, is in the short, it's his grandfather, not his grandmother. Anyway, William showed her how he could throw the ball through the net. Attached to the garage outside, he showed her the electric train clacking along the tracks, through the tunnel, over the bridge, around the curve, until it came to a stop in front of the station William had made. I love this image of him just, like, on its own. Like, don't look at the basketball, just look at this. What in the world is the context here? Now I turn the page. Words. She was very interested, and they went for a walk together, and William said, "But you know, what I really want is a doll." "Wonderful," said his grandmother. "No," William said. "My brother says it will make me a creep, and the boy next door says I'm a sissy, and my father brings me other things instead." "Nonsense," said his grandmother. Brings me other things instead. What? Alright. Focus already. Sorry about this, my camera's not being... Okay. She went to the store and chose a baby doll with curly eyelashes and a long white dress and a bonnet. The doll had blue eyes, and when they were closed, they made a clicking sound, and William loved it right away. And there we see a dog with a frill around its neck, a koala, normal teddy bear, copyright infringing Raggedy Ann. Like, is that allowed? Is that allowed? Is Raggedy Ann copyrighted? I don't think that's allowed. But his father was upset. "He's a boy," he said to William's grandmother. "He has a basketball and an electric train and a workbench to build things with." He gave a child a workbench to actually build things. What? "Why does he need a doll?" William's grandmother smiled. "He needs it," she said, "to hug and to cradle and to take to the park, so that when he's a father like you, he'll know how to take care of his baby, and feed him and love him and bring him the things he wants, like a doll, so that he can practice being a father." A landmark book. Anyway, I get it. It's fine. Its heart was in the right place. It's just kind of awkward, and it's, like, very sappy, very silly, cheesy book. I actually like the change the short made, where it's William's grandfather, not the grandmother. It helps get across more that, like, it's okay for a male to do these things, to, like, show affection, emotion, and be sensitive about things. With the grandmother, I don't know, I don't think the message would have come across as clearly, and, yeah. Anyway, the short actually made quite a few improvements, since the book is very awkward with the illustrations. I don't know how many versions of this book there are, if there's others with other illustrations. Anyway, yeah. Love that face. Love him hugging the train. Love this. Looks like part of a Michael Jackson dance. And then, oh yeah, copyright infringing Raggedy Ann there. Holy crap. Like, yeah, I can't get over that. That's just straight up Raggedy Ann. Oh yeah, and that reminds me of something. That was in the short, where when the grandfather is talking to William's father, he's saying, "Do you remember Raggedy Andy?" And then the father's like, Raggedy Andy wasn't a real doll. And then the grandfather's like, but the feeling's the same. Remember, you took that doll, you took Raggedy Andy everywhere. And remember when we went camping and you forgot him at home and you cried yourself to sleep. I drove back and brought him back to you and you were so happy. That was something else I liked in the short, was they really expanded more on like the relationship between the father and the grandfather like showing the father examples of, yeah, like what he's trying to teach him about William and the doll. Oh, now that I'm looking at the cover, this image of William just leaping up is really funny. So anyway, it's fine. I can totally see, like, if you have kids, especially if you have boys, and if you have a boy who's like, yeah, like not like into the traditionally like male things. Like when I was like really little, I wasn't super into dolls. I liked action figures, but yeah, I definitely didn't fit. Like I remember in school when I was really little, I hung out with the girls a lot. Like I didn't like hanging out with the boys. I hung out with the girls a lot, and yeah. Although I seem to remember, like, if I got made fun of, they came up with far more creative things than creep and sissy, far more colorful things I'm not allowed to say in this video, but yeah, anyway, yeah, Williams Doll had a book. No idea if it's, like, hard to find or anything. I've never seen any other copy, though I haven't really looked. Oh, and I remember I looked into the history of that short that was on RiffTrax, and surprisingly, like, it had quite a bit of recognition. I remember reading about the short had like won an award or something, and the guy who did like that song, that Little Friend song in the short, like it was gonna be like a big TV special or something, and there was like a whole event built around it or something. It was very strange for such a sappy, cheesy little thing, but whatever. So yeah, Williams Doll. Hope you enjoyed this. See ya.